Hello and welcome to another edition of History Science Fiber. Today we're diving into mushrooms and the true reds from Cortinarius smithii. Now, all mushrooms in the Cortinarius genus share three characteristics. Number one, they're found in woodland habitats. Number two, they have rusty to cinnamon brown spores. And number three, they all have a cortina. Now, the cortina is a silkwebby or cobwebby veil that connects the cap and the stalk in young mushrooms and disintegrates as that cap expands. And you can often find remnants of it under the cap covered in those rusty spores. Prior to 2012, Cortinarius smithii was known as Cortinarius phoeniceus variant occidentalis, and you will find it under that name in great mushroom books like Demystifying Mushrooms. Now, this mushroom in particular has two very distinct characteristics. One is that convex cap that becomes planar or smooths out at the edges is a deep maroon or a blood red, or it can get a little bit into the browny reds as it ages. The gills are blood red, and then that stalk is yellowish. So if you see the yellowish stalk, bright red, maroony red cap, you've got a Cortinarius smithii. The cap can grow from about 2.5 to 8 centimeters, and the stalk from 3 to about 10 centimeters. So it's considered a medium-sized mushroom. It can grow in solitary conditions or in groupings, usually under conifers. And here in the southwest coast of British Columbia, it tends to come out in November. I started out with wool that I'd already pre-mordanted with alum at 16% weight of fiber. Now, when it comes to dyeing with these mushrooms, you have a couple of different options. Some people dye with the entire mushroom, and some people separate the caps and the stalk and then just dye with the caps to get more of a true red. And that's what I did here. But really, you should experiment and see what kind of colors you can get. You'll notice that once you dry them, they'll go a silvery, reddy tan, almost a metallic color. And I weigh out about twice as much mushroom to fiber if you really want to get that red, but you can also get more concentrated if you want to. Here I've got 20 grams of fiber, and so I used just over 40 grams of mushrooms. I added those to my dye vessel, which was a 2-liter glass jar. And then I added my water and I simmered the mushrooms in a double boiler method for about 1 hour, and I could clearly see the water starting to turn red. At this time, I placed my pre-wetted fiber that I'd already soaked for an hour into a paint mesh bag, a 1-liter size, and I inserted that into my dye liquid, making sure it had lots of room to move around to get all the dye to make contact with the fiber. I simmered the fiber for about 1 hour, moving it around every 10 minutes or so with a stir stick. And then I allowed that to cool. I removed the bag, and I was really happy with the red that I got. It was nice, rich, even. And lastly, I used the dye pot one more time as an exhaust bath, and I got a nice peachy, even color as well. All in all, this is a great mushroom for dyeing, and I hope you have fun as well.